someone want like ask me to leave after school. It's like 2 hours, 1 hour and 45 minutes. Well, I have to hold the microphone close to my mouth. I could use the phone's microphone, but I would have to talk a lot louder, and I don't want to do that here. So it's almost 2 hours after school for most of you. I'm a bit slower when it comes to processing time and all these things. For me it feels like half an hour would feel for you. And I feel so weird. Recently it started a few days ago, and I wanted to talk about it. But in my hometown there is no place basically where I could go and shoot a video of myself just talking to camera. So I try to look for a place in the city where I go to school, and I could not find better place than a cemetery. This is a huge cemetery full of all sorts of famous families, but private small unknown families as well. And I noticed there is a lack of chairs, or how do you call them, benches, and some graves have a bench assigned to them. So I hope that I'm not invading private property right now. If you're like religious or something, I do to state it at the beginning of this video, I am not I'm agnostic, and that doesn't matter. Basically what I'm trying to say, no matter what I think or you think about what comes in the afterlife, or whether something like a soul exists, whether you're spiritual or not, whether you believe in ghosts, it doesn't it has no impact on the fact that I treat dead bodies like dead bodies. So I don't consider graveyard to be like a place that you should my English is getting worse every day. What is the adjective you call a place that you like adore and are very careful when you enter it, and you are quiet, and you do not shoot a video, you do not catch Pokemons and so on. I treat graveyard more like a park with monuments that are basically trying to remind you that these people existed. But I mean, even when it comes to my beloved ones, I I do love them. I treat them as people uh, when I'm interacting with them. But as soon as they die, I won't treat the body like they are inside it, because they aren't. They are not. Um, for yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Um, I don't think that it is needed to elaborate on that topic further. And why I was looking for a place to shoot a weird video. I have. I don't want to say like I have no one to talk to. I have a lot of people to talk to, and a lot of people who objectively love me. But during the last few days, I encountered feelings which are really hard to explain, or maybe not that hard to explain, but they are hard to explain to somebody who does not treat feelings like temporary things, but who treats them like more like chronicle states with long duration. Okay, people are starting to look at me weirdly, which sadly my family is, and so it is hard to tell them, like, for the past few days I've been feeling hateful to everybody, including you, and it is not your fault. I'm actually trying to figure out whose fault it may be, what is the cause for such behavior inside my mind. Yesterday, yeah, and to finish the first long sentence which I started this part of the speech with, I I decided that shooting a video and telling a broad public how are the viewers called? How are you called when you are sitting in a theater and watching something? Audience. Wide public audience can see and hear. Maybe it is better because I won't bother them. It won't bother them, and I won't have to explain all my feelings to them. Well, since more it applies, the more the harder you imagine that they are just temporary. And I'm basically feeling, yeah, that's the after 10 minutes since the start of this video, I finally remembered the main thing I wanted to talk about, is that recently I've been feeling, and I am still feeling, like main character, but not in the terms of, not in the Instagramish, TikTokish terms, but more like a main character of a horror book, or horror. How's that type of literature called? or a book basically. I will try to shoot another video and then connect it to this one. Yeah, thank you. I was just I am just afraid that since this phone I have most things on cloud and this phone doesn't have much internal storage, so since I'm shooting in 4K 60 FPS, I was afraid that it may run out of storage, and I wanted at least a part of this video to be like saved. Recently I've been feeling like a main character of a horror story, because everything feels weird. I'm basically ill, like darkness, dark illness influences me. If you wanted to feel more more horror-like, you can imagine it like a demon or something. And the first thing it did to me was that suddenly I could not process anything. I had been like prominent student, I believe. Not in terms like better than my classmates, not to insult anybody, but definitely in terms of what an average Czech student is, because I was part of some groups that were present at the whole Republican how are they called? Sorry, the linguistic part of my brain is slowly dying, as you can see here. No, the event where you try to show that you're better than somebody else. I cannot now remember how the word is called in English. So I was a student who was a part of these groups to represent our secondary school. I also did some similar things in Czech language, in poetry even, but that was just a junior poetry, and it was mainly about having the courage to remember exactly how how an adult told you you should pronounce and what should you do with your voice whilst speaking or reciting a poem, and then repeating it, acting it on a stage in front of I would like to say commissary, but I don't believe commissary has the same meaning in English, although it sounds similar. In front of people who judge you, basically, and so on. I don't really want to struggle with adding more examples, because as you could hear, they take long to they take very long to process in my brain and translate to English. But yeah, I was a student with the vision of being successful in the future, and then I attended my first university, which was a total disaster. I could not keep up the tempo with those pseudo teachers, quasi teachers, as they are not really teachers. They are teaching you, but they don't have education in how to teach somebody, not even in psychology or so. But that doesn't mean that it was their fault. I would like somebody else to judge it. I don't want to state whether it was more my fault or their fault. I failed at that school anyway. I left it after 1 year. And I then went to another university to study basically the same thing, computer science, but simplified this time. And I did it through first 2 years, and then like if I were possessed by a demon, or if darkness came, or if there was a god, maybe there is, who like tried to punish me for something. I just couldn't. My brain basically switched off for long periods. It's hard to explain to somebody who never felt it, but since the Third World War is already here, and people are fighting in most parts of this world. Most is most the right word. When I read the news, no matter whether through internet or through television or whatever. Radio, I rarely listen to radio, but some markets or some older colleagues have the radio turned on, and so loud that I can hear it. So I have to include it as a source of as a source of world information, and from these sources of information, it seems to me like most of the world is fighting currently. So I believe this video could potentially, in the future, be watched not only by people who are, as well as me, like mentally breaking down from just the thought of the Third World War, but maybe some people are watching this video, and maybe you are right now feeling like, damn, what is he talking about? What are his problems? He lives in a country where he doesn't need to attend an army preparation or battle preparation courses. He can leave the country whenever he wants to and trade back. It's peaceful there. He basically his family has the money to pay for his school, and if they did not, he can easily just find a profession to do, because the market is full of empty places for unemployed. What are his problems. Yeah, and that's it. If we skip through the talk about how I if we skip the part where I would talk about the many struggles and attempts to actually heal myself from this curse of brain being stuck. I would describe the feeling which I was talking about previously, but never explained it. I would explain it as brain fog. The brain is, or at least my psychologist told me that my brain was so overwhelmed by information that it decided to shut down or unnecessary cognitional nerve paths or information paths. So I was basically only watching the husk of me traveling the world, and I was feeling nothing. I could not sleep, and so on and so on and so on. And then I tried many things to heal myself, and after like 4 years I'm here, and I'm currently in a state where I'm desperately trying to find a combination of legal substances. I'm done with illegal substances. I've tried some, let's say, barely legal substances. Those are substances you buy legally but are marked as you are not supposed to eat this. It's only for like laying on your shelf and being there. So there are many birds because this place is quiet and nice. And although there are dead bodies everywhere, I treat dead bodies like dirt. Dirt and mud is also basically just meshed dead bodies of plants and fauna with some added minerals. And it is what we are made of, so people who are alive are much more scarier. Let's save this video and start another one. Okay, I just reviewed the sound and it is it has its signature. That yeah. My brain refuses to talk today. It is a signature sound to be for sure. Yeah, so I believe the last thing was about me trying to say that currently I feel like a main character of a horror story, because I am possessed by the darkness of let's talk about that later, and I am currently desperately trying to find a combination of substances, but in the meaning of basically legal drugs which you can buy in a drugstore, in combinations with my antidepressants to suppress all symptoms of being possessed by this darkness. um, I'm still struggling because at first I was so sleepy that I could not wake for work. And by could not wake, I mean not even with the help of others. Nobody could wake me up if I was asleep without taking anything to boost the sleep. Then I started taking like iron supplements, ferrum supplements, after which this symptom disappeared. So I'm now active. I can wake up. So what's the next problem? The next problem was that I could function with the iron supplements for about I wanted to say 12 hours, but basically 6 hours. I woke up at 6 a.m. till like 12 a.m. or 1 p.m. I was quite active, normal. And afterwards there came anger. Depression is the feeling of depression, anger, and I am sadness. And also I was so tired, or being so tired that I could not work. After a lot of try and error, I found out that it is because of my brain lacking acetylcholine. Is that the right way to pronounce that? Choline, basically. CHOLIN, which is in brain transformed into acetyl ACETYL choline. So I started supplementing that, which worked, but then every evening came a huge depression. Then I learned about there being many types of choline supplements, and I chose the right one. That's about half a year of work, or no, a year of work, including the iron, including the part of the year whilst I was looking for what to supplement to not be so tired in the morning. And now I don't know that I have to be aware of my iron. I know I have to supplement choline every day. By the way, choline is naturally found in food. If your eating system works right, which mine does not. I have a syndrome, genetically transmitted syndrome of, and I'm not very good at chemistry, but basically I have a minuscule amount of one of very important enzymes to process food into blood, so it takes very long. And sometimes the body does not manage it, because if the body does not is not fast enough, then the food comes out as poop without the body processing it. Something happened there. Yeah. And I what was I talking about? The iron, but then the choline. Yeah, the choline. So basically, you should not be choline supplements shall not be needed. It also can be a bird. The bird is a word. It also could mean that that the food I ingest every day, and meals I eat every day are not very healthy. That is also a thing I'm working on, but I'm afraid that I want to lose weight, so I maybe not stay a virgin until the end of my life. Ooh, Discord moderator feeling. So I'm working on eating healthier, very slowly, as I do with everything, but I am afraid that even very very healthy diet wouldn't be enough for me without the choline administration. So with all these things, all these supplements, I'm quite working, quite able to work. I also realized the not compared but connected to food. I also realized that the food I eat does not contain enough essential amino acids. Some sportsmen know it as EAA, I believe. Those are essential amino acids are called essential. The thing that something is called an acid does not mean that it is. It does not necessarily mean that it is green water that if you touch it, it burns you. It's just about how the solution interacts with hydrogen molecules, atoms. So and it does not mean that it does not necessarily mean that those are solid materials, and and never mind. It is once again just they are essential. The body cannot produce them on its own. You have to intake them in sufficient amounts through food, through your meals. That's it. So another meal diet based problem, or maybe the problem of my syndrome, which, although I eat a lot, does not intake enough of the materials that it should. So I'm also working on it, currently supplementing it. The vision in the future is not supplementing anything and having enough of everything in my diet. But I'm slow about it, and I'm very my view of this world subjectively is very based on what I believe or what I don't believe. And I am the type of guy who doesn't do anything just because you told them to. I have to understand why should I do it. That's how I feel it. I'm sorry, and if I'm forced to do something just because someone commanded me to, there comes cognitional dissonance in my head, which is when you in the past it was called something like, my brain tells me that I should do this, but my heart tells me otherwise. So that's cognitional dissonance or cognitive dissonance. And that's where many problems with like my family start, because they force me, and you should do this as well, and should do this, and should do this. But I have to approve those options before I implement them. I also have to have enough like will energy or will points. That's another problem, that once you are possessed by it's not mental disease, by like mental problems. Once you are affected by them, you realize that you do not. It will sound weird. It sounds weird to every healthy person, but you do not control your body as you think. Your body is controlled. No, I'm telling you something how I subjectively feel it, not something that would be written anywhere as a matter of fact. It's not. It may be factually very incorrect. It's just how I view it. I do not like when you have some mental problems or psychological problems. You realize that you do not control your body. Your body is controlled more like a democratic party, where you just have the right to vote, but also your emotions have the right to vote. Also the system that is constantly like monitoring your body, whether you have enough like energy and resources for something, can vote as well. So that's what people with those cases of depression where they cannot get out of bed feel, in my opinion. They want to get out of the bed, but their emotions are telling them something like, no, you cannot get out of the bed and play your favorite game or meet your family. You are so pissed that you are unable to get out of the bed, that as soon as you get out of the bed you have to punch somebody. And then the resources part or resources monitoring system tells them, well, you don't have energy for anything, you have to sleep. You won't get out of the body, even if it means you will mess your pants. You won't leave. You don't have energy. Sorry. Yeah, which is a concept that is very hard to explain to somebody who is for their whole life in harmony with those parts. Basically, when all those three parts vote for the same action, it feels like you control your body. as soon as one of these parties, just in my opinion, just remember this is not a medical advice, it's just my opinion, but as soon as one of these parties decides that you want to do something, it starts as my brain tells me to do this, my heart tells me to do this, and can in extreme cases mean I want to come to your party, but I am unable to. Although I have time, I am subjectively unable to, and you won't understand, and you will be pissed. Yeah. It feels like a good time to end it, because I didn't even get to the main part I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about mainly about the fact that I have gotten over all those problems I have named, but I cannot get to a healthy state. I'm currently in a state where if I take I don't know this amount of the antidepressant A I have been prescribed, I don't have those episodes where I feel like I hate everybody, which once again, if I did not mention it enough times, I think that feeling is temporal, and like subjective. Your happiness is subjective, and it is based on what is going on. In my opinion, it is based on what is going on in your body and in your brain. So if psychologically a healthy person, or even a person who found like very coherent substances can be happier even though they have to die tomorrow fighting against another nation, than a person living in basically Eden. And I wanted to talk about those episodes because they so pissed me off. Yesterday I was almost crying because I was feeling like nobody needs me. I am just a stone that's laying in a way to successful life for many people. And objectively it is probably not true, but when the episode comes, you are not able to suppress the subjective feeling. So yeah, I'm currently in a state where I'm on a mission. Ooh, there are birds. Can you see them? I'm afraid you cannot see them. But there are doves on a graveyard. Damn, I just found a name that I know. So I'm currently on a mission to look for the right combination, as if I take antidepressant A, I don't have those episodes of hate and sadness. But if I take them, I also am had to leave as there came a person to mourn mourn their loved ones, and I was just very selfishly taking a video of myself talking. I don't even remember where I left off. It was something about me trying to find the correct solution of healing, the correct potion uh, to feel better, to basically don't have all those uh, side effects that antidepressant if taken has positive effects, but also it means being very like not sensitive, very sensitive to anything that happens, and that means that you cannot go to school if there are many people, because you're studying in a big city. Antidepressant B can suppress this, but only at doses which are not allowed by the World Health Organization, and also only at doses which make you being very slow and feel like somebody with a high ethanol intake. Yeah, so you cannot. It is hard to choose the correct amount of everything. Yeah, so that's what I needed to talk about, and I sadly did not feel like telling it to anybody other than a YouTube video where basically anybody can watch it. But I doubt that anyone will like confront me with it, and even if there's just a flower in the basement, and even if I will be confronted with it, maybe we can talk about it. I wanted to end it with my latest like research comes to the conclusion that I may be like hypersensitive and not have a psychological condition at all, because everything feels like I'm hypersensitive. There are those cool buildings, gothic buildings. František Pštros. Everything when put together feels like oversensitiveness because of what I felt during high school. How I am constantly triggered by something, and also that my first encounter with this darkness thing was by my brain shutting down due to overload, and also these side symptoms that I have tinnitus, the constant ringing in your ears, when you are too sensitive to how those little bones are shaking. You constantly hear like very high pitch noise in your ears, and when I close my eyes or look into darkness, I have the how is it called, visual snow or something like that. I thought everybody does that, well apparently not. So that's my conclusion for today, and I hope that the path that I have to go to finally find the ultimate solution, the ultimate potion of happiness for myself is shorter. And I will leave the talk about how I'm depressed about World War III and all these things happening around us for another time, because as far as I'm aware, those videos connected together will have well over an hour. It was great to have somebody to talk to, and see you again.